Hi guys, welcome back. It's 2025.
Hi guys, we are back.
We are.
My business.
We are. I know you've missed us
Yeah.
and we've missed you.
We have.
But never fret. We're here. We are. And already 2025 has been an explosive new year.
It really has. It's been a month. Like, what the hell?
I like your
like
I do that all
watch.
the time. What time do you call this?
How's your 2025 going so far?
I mean, so far so good. I was away for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I kind of bypassed some of the cold weather. Thank God for that.
Lucky.
Which was really good. A much needed break. Probably the only one I'm going to get for a while. So I enjoyed it. I just swimming and a bit of sunbathing and
lapping it up.
Yeah, just chill
in the sun. Where did you go?
So I went to Dubai.
Nice.
I've been before. So I didn't do any like touristy things. Yeah.
Is it full of just Brits who've escaped the UK?
That's nice. I mean, the service is amazing. It's beautiful, like it's cool.
And crime's low. That's what I always say. Like there's no crime in Dubai.
Yeah.
Like, how do we mimic this?
Everywhere I went, so like anytime I was near a coffee bar or whatever, you could see like laptops just sitting there for like hours.
Yeah.
And safe. I still wouldn't, even if I was there, I wouldn't do it.
No.
But my goodness, they do, and they're safe.
No,
so that's kind
I
of
just
cool.
got a new phone.
Yes,
and I literally have never had so much fear in my life. Like the first day before I got a case, I was just holding it like this, like, please no one steal it. Please no one steal it. Even now, I've also bought Apple Care, which I've never done before.
Wow.
And I upgraded to like the theft one. Yeah. I'm just so paranoid. It's out of control. Like, the amount of stories now where people's phones are just getting snatched, especially around here.
Yeah.
Or just in London in general.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I've never been so, like, my phone was quite old before, so I didn't really care. And now I'm like, please don't take it. I really can't go through this again.
Exactly. That's why, you know, when my phone broke of the tragedy, I was not changing it for anything because I didn't care about the cracked screen. I'm
right.
Thieves don't care about
they see the crack, they're like, it's okay, I'll leave it. You keep it. I can't sell that.
And it worked.
Yeah, and it worked
until it broke.
Same. Mine just died one day, and like the trauma of having to change your phone is also like something that
horrible.
I don't wish on anyone.
No. But anyway, so that was my kind of
nice
run into the new year. How about you?
Yeah, it was good. I was here. Braving the cold. I was on Jeremy Vine. That was fun. So we were talking about
regular on there.
Well, I don't know if I'm a regular, but I was back. So that was fun.
Yeah.
We were talking a lot about pensioners, the BBC. I had a lot to say, perhaps too much to say.
Oh, really?
Awkward.
Like bars from the BBC.
Yeah, they're like blacklist. So that was fun. And we were talking about the LA wildfires, which happened obviously over the holidays, which is it was crazy.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we have the news in Dubai.
Good.
Funny that. And I was following it as well. It was like such a horrible thing. Like it's crazy. So what else have we
So we've missed. What else have we missed? So we've missed Trump's inauguration.
Oh yes, we did.
That was epic. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I watched some of the highlights because I was a bit busy. I don't know what I was doing.
It was a bit busy. Sorry, Trump.
Sorry, but it was interesting. I watched some of the highlights.
Yeah.
And there was lots of like press around it, so I did kind of follow some of it. But I mean, I quite like watching when the reactions of people in the audience. So for example, Hillary Clinton, when
watching her throughout was insane.
Yeah, like
he called it the Gulf of America. She was like, ha ha ha, he's such an idiot. I'm like, well, he won an election, you didn't, so who's the idiot?
Twice. By the way,
twice.
So things like that were quite funny, and the way he sort of slammed the previous government and stuff, and they're just sitting there like this.
Kamala Harris was fuming the whole time. She only clapped once, and I can't remember what it was for, but there was only one time that she clapped, and it was something completely neutral. But every other time she was just sitting there like growling. I refuse to acknowledge you. It's like so sad. It's really pathetic.
Yeah, it was.
Like, come on, be a grown up.
Yeah, but it was quite funny for entertainment value. I quite like watching it. And also the sort of interactions with Melania and stuff. I love this whole kind of everyone says that she hates Trump. And like obviously they're married and they're together and whatever,
Yeah.
but it's quite funny just to see how
Yeah.
the public reacts. So,
Yeah.
so for me that was my kind of, you know, and obviously to see what was she going to wear. So
yeah, the outfit was pretty hardcore. I liked it. But I think for the first time they seemed like a married couple.
They did.
There was a bit more kind of joshing with each other,
Yes,
and a bit of banter,
yeah.
and she was kind of smiling more wryly than she normally does with him. She seemed to be able to, like, I think she was just in a better mood. She was just like, okay, here we go. You actually won this. Let's do this.
Well done.
And it was quite cute. I was like, oh, actually are. Like, there is some kind of affection there. It seemed like.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was good. Lots of great speeches.
Yeah.
Every 2 minutes, like, people were standing up going, yeah, because he was just like coming out with everything. Yeah. Watching JD Vance get sworn in was a very emotional moment for me. As his biggest fan. But no, Trump was good. I think he was very forceful. His first speech was much better. Yes. Because then he went downstairs and kind of freestyle, let's say.
Yeah, he did.
And he just went on a bit of a tangent. And I was like, I don't think you needed to do that, because
you said enough.
It ruined the first bit.
Yeah.
And he was very interesting in the first bit. It was very optimistic.
Yes.
And really painting a vision of like the future of America is going to be great again. Like I genuinely felt it this time. Yeah. And it felt like he'd really planned. Exactly. As last time he was kind of surprised he got there. Yeah. This time he was like, I'm coming in hard and I'm going to build a legacy, because in like 30, 50, 100 years, I want people to look back and say Trump's presidency changed America. Exactly. And and I think it will.
Yeah, exactly. I think it will too. I hope it does for the better. I think it's kind of cool that he got to have a run at it once before, because then you know what you can actually do and what you can't do, and how quickly you can do stuff, and what to do. So that's kind of because I do think that a lot of people, when they come into power, they're finding their feet, and that's a horrible position to be in when you've got so many important things to get done in such a short time. So to kind of know what you need to do or want to do, and know how to implement it.
And to have that break to get, like, see things, because obviously if you get a second term straight away, you're kind of still in the same era, I guess. Whereas this time he had an opportunity to come away, step away from it.
See what they were doing wrong.
See what they were doing wrong. Also get so attacked and targeted that you're coming in with like a vengeance. Like, this is my payback.
I will.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was very like, I'll be back. So I think you're right. Second time round is nice.
And I mean, all the tech boys hung out.
All the tech boys were there. Everyone was there.
I can't believe it. They're like, I feel like some of them have changed their tunes slightly.
Yes, you might say that, Mark Zuckerberg. But he's like, free speech is great again. Like, okay, you weren't saying that last month.
Yeah, you weren't saying that when you were in court as well.
It's so true.
Oh god. But
times have changed.
I don't know. So I find that a bit bizarre as well, that so many people, tech bros and I don't know, celebs, I guess, are kind of
kissing the ring.
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
They are kissing the ring.
That's well, I mean, good, I guess. In a way, good. You gotta give someone a chance, right? And as long as they do good things and make a positive change, then I think, well, give them a chance. That's it. But some people just can't. It's just some people really hate him, and
so like Kamala Harris. So much has happened. Obviously, Israel-Gaza ceasefire has happened. Yes, and I guess we can credit Trump a little bit with that.
Think so. I mean, he put quite a big threat out. Like, it wasn't just hey guys, sort it out. It was you better sort it out.
He said, all hell will break loose if this isn't sorted by the time I get to my inauguration.
And they listened,
and they
did. So that's, I mean, just that alone is a good positive step forward. Definitely. However, still needs a lot of work, a lot of progress.
What else has been going? Obviously, in the UK, we still firstly, everyone loves Trump now.
Yeah, we still have Labour.
Mandelson's like, what? I never said anything. That's great. That's a great guy.
Honestly, why do these people do this?
It's really embarrassing.
It's so bad. I mean, I think I would respect someone more if they're like, yeah, I said it, and I still mean it. I kind of think it's still relevant. He's made, progress, but it's still relevant.
Yeah,
I'd much prefer that.
The funny thing is, before his inauguration, who was it? Someone was saying something about I think it was Elon. Obviously, Elon Musk over Christmas went a bit ham. Obviously, we missed all that because we were just.
Can we talk about it? Okay, so all over social media, he was like, they clipped it, so he's like, looks like he's doing a Nazi salute.
Right.
He does have Asperger's, by the way. So I don't know. I would like to think he's not doing a Nazi salute.
I don't think he was.
It was because he kind of grabbed his heart and then did this like throwing his heart out.
Yeah,
but it looked more like something else.
yeah.
And I think people that don't like him or Trump or that kind of politics,
right,
just run with it. And but I do think that he has, he's on the spectrum, right? He has Asperger's or whatever.
Yeah.
And so some things that he does are a bit peculiar and maybe misconstrued. And I think that's what happened there. However, lots of people on social media think he's an outright Nazi.
Well, yeah. Well, that was inauguration. So like pre-inauguration, when he was on Twitter, X, all over Christmas time, that period, talking about the grooming gangs, and he was going really, really hard on that. And he's talking about Keir Starmer and why are you hiding, and why aren't you, putting a public inquiry? Is that because you think that you'll be, you've got something to hide?
Yes. No, I'm happy that Elon was pointing out these things, because although obviously we're aware of it, of them all, they're not being dealt with adequately enough. They're not being handled the way it needs to be handled, because I do think that unfortunately there's an element of people in positions of power that are so scared of like being PC or being, called racist or creating a hate kind of vibe, that they're willing to brush under the carpet such violent, horrible, despicable crimes that are going against innocent people. Like, what are you doing? Get on with it, sort it out. And you know what? I'm not sure if we do need another sort of report on it. How about we get some action on it?
Right.
That's where I'm at. So I'm good. Elon, do it. Keep going.
Go on, Elon.
Yeah. People listen to him. He's
he definitely did motivate our politicians anyway to go on about it. And Kemi started calling for a national inquiry after that. So
they've had a national inquiry already.
So they've had local inquiries. So there was a national inquiry, but it wasn't about piecing together all of the local inquiries. I think that's what they're saying. Like, things have been too small, segregated, small, and also the local ones don't force people to come and give evidence. So by saying, just make it a local one, that's great, but you can't actually force people to be honest. Whereas the national one, they have to be. I think that was the main difference. But there was one before, like I think it was the J report. So yes,
sort that out.
But Trump has been very inspiring, not just to Peter Mandelson, but also to Rachel Reeves.
Oh yes,
who after she crashed the economy, she has she saw Trump signing all these executive orders. Think, oh wow, you can actually use your power to do something. Amazing. This is interesting, not just tax people. So why don't I actually do something? So since then, she's kind of woken up, and now she's speaking really positively about the economy. She's feeling pumped, and she's still all about growth.
Yeah, but at what cost?
And also, just saying growth doesn't get growth. You've actually got to do something to get growth.
And I feel like her strategy, I might be wrong, but her strategy is all about importing sort of people to create growth in the UK, whilst we're losing people that actually already create growth in the UK because they're leaving. So I'm like, what are you doing? So we're going to get low class, kind of low standard workers replacing high standard business owners. Like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, she doesn't make a lot of sense, to be fair. She doesn't make a lot of sense.
So I'm not
I think she went to Davos the other day, and he was like, oh guys, the non-dom stuff, here's a crumb that will make you come back. And it's like, well, I don't think you realize this. People are going to pay VAT on their private schools. You still got a non-dom tax. You've made the national insurance increase, as we always talk about, business property. All of these things aren't really going to outweigh that little crumb of non-dom tax that you've given them back, relief that you've given them back. I don't think she just doesn't understand. Fundamentally doesn't understand.
No.
So that's a problem.
It is a problem. I don't know what we do about it.
But she wants to build.
Also, I'm against build.
Oh God.
I mean, because I keep hearing, we get floods, we get weather disturbances, everything is all, going to pop when the weather goes wrong, right? And the more we build, that's the less green we've got in the country. And also we need, you talk about your green agenda, and then you want to build on everything. We don't have the infrastructure currently. They want to create a whole new infrastructure. I don't know, I feel like they want to build on green belts, which is like horrible.
Yeah.
They want to, I don't know, I'm not for it. I understand we have like a housing need or whatever, but there's got to be other ways, and we still need our country to be a beautiful green.
Yeah, I think the main problem with their build strategy is that they want to no longer build in towns and cities.
Yeah,
they want to build in the countryside, and obviously it needs to be flipped.
Yeah,
I don't think that obviously we should be focusing just on London. I think we should be focusing on towns around the country,
Yeah,
so that people move around, because
Yeah.
I still believe in leveling up.
Yeah.
But you've got to have infrastructure first, and
Yeah.
people say it like to death, but nobody does anything about
Yeah,
it. And it's the one thing communities ask for.
Yeah.
It's like, we need GP surgeries,
course.
we need shops, we need trains,
Yeah.
we need buses, we
Yeah.
need transport.
All of
and
it.
that needs to come before
Yeah.
you say, I'm going to build 10,000 houses, which you should.
Yeah.
But you've also got to build something around it,
Yeah.
so that the people already living there aren't squeezed and their services aren't squeezed.
But my point is, we're going to have like all these micro Milton Keynes everywhere.
Yeah.
Why?
No, what's wrong with Milton Keynes?
but why?
Dare she?
But do you know what I mean?
I know what you
where's the beauty and the yeah, they have a good ski like things. When I walk around London and I see the architecture of like the wonderful areas, the old historic areas, I'm like, wow. And I do like a bit of the contrast, but the point is, it's steeped rich history.
But there's nothing to stop you from building that way. It costs the same to
That's true.
build as beautifully. So you can still build,
Yes,
but you just don't build ugly monstrosities like that Google building in Tottenham Court Road, which looks like a Lego piece. Like, don't build that, just build more like Georgian style townhouses and mansion blocks. Like, build beautifully, which
I agree.
What we always say, and what Michael Gove said. Obviously,
but I do still think, we don't need to build it as much as we do. I think there's other ways. I know I'm the oddball on this.
No, you're not. I think that there's a balance, right? There's a balance to be struck, and I think there are places that are beautiful and should be preserved, but there is also a growing population, a growing demand.
But apparently no one's having babies anymore. So where's this population growing from?
They're still having some babies.
Yeah.
They're just not having
where is it growing, and what are they doing? What's happening? Because I feel like it's not growing because
well, it's the reason people aren't having kids is because they can't afford to buy a house and settle down and make a life for themselves. So they're still stuck in their parents' basement. So that's also part of the problem. If we can unclog, and I sound like Rachel Reeves now, please forgive me, everyone. If we can unclog the planning, blocks. Oh, I can't use the word block, sorry, that's just too Rachel Reeves. But if we can unblock the planning system, but also like the way we build and what we're building, then we can actually create some flow.
I'm not
she still hates
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy about this. But one thing that she did say in her big speech, so Rachel Reeves obviously had her big speech last week, well, it will be last week, where she was talking about build.
Yes.
She said we're going to have a Heathrow expansion, which is a whole thing, but she also said she's going to have Oxford, Cambridge, make that a big hub, create a train line, which the Conservatives actually announced and thought of under Michael Gove. These are our policies, by the way. And this is the problem with Labour. They do like to kind of regurgitate our things and pretend that we didn't have the money for it, so it's their idea and they're the only ones that could have delivered it, which is untrue. But I think that things like that will be really cool.
Because you're adding on to existing kind of templates. So I'm not so against that. What I am against is when you just go wild and you just want to. But talking about what did you just say?
Heathrow.
Oh yeah, Heathrow. So her reason for that is basically it will stop, because we're getting more eco-friendly planes.
And
it's gonna
just discovered sustainable fuel.
And it's gonna stop all the circling. So they can land easily. However, what about the poor people that cry
That live
every,
there.
you know, that live, well, now they will be further out or wherever. And the people complain about the noise of planes all the time. And if you're on a plane flight like path, it's relentless.
Yeah.
You get maybe like 2 hours like without the noise, and it's loud. And the closer you get, obviously, if you go and buy near like Heathrow, then more fool you, because that's ridiculous. But it still goes over London. It still goes over like, you know, areas around. And so that's just going to be more noisy, although she'll say that these new planes are quiet, silent planes.
Problem is, okay, so we want to build all these airports so people can go traveling, and let's bring in some more people into the country. Let's get some more of our people out there traveling, business flights. Nobody's got any money. Everyone's getting sacked. People are cutting all the jobs. No one's going to be able to fly anywhere.
Also, they're trying to build these 15-minute cities, so they don't want people to leave. So it's going to be literally just for the richy rich.
It's conflicting. They're very conflicting policies. That's what happens when you steal into people's policies, and you're just plucking things out of thin air because you realise you've crashed the economy. That's what happens when you're acting out of panic.
Oh God,
which is what she's doing.
She should never act out of panic. And because she got such bad press with, you know, winter fuel, with all the like
the budget, the whole budget.
I was going to say business taxes and farmers and all of it. So she is in panic mode. But why don't you just actually say, like, okay, we've tried it, this doesn't work, this does work, let's do this now. And then, you know, at least we'd have some respect that she's actually listened to the people. She's actually gone and done the data for it. And that's it.
Just be like, look, guys, I'm not an economist. I don't know what I'm doing. I am Rachel from accounts, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that governments don't create wealth, that people do. I'm sorry you've all gone. I'm sorry I've crushed you all, and I take it back.
Undo it. So what else are we?
So anyway, Sadiq Khan is very annoyed about this runway. And he's going to come out fighting. I think he's going to start a judicial review or something.
I can't believe
against his own chancellor, which is hilarious. I can't believe he's doing anything either. It's shocking. Also, Ed Miliband, he snubbed her speech.
Wait. Maybe Sadiq lives in the flight path.
I don't think he does. It's cheating.
That might be in the flight path.
It's not.
Oh.
Maybe
it's in the new flight path.
The runway's going that way. No, I think he just because remember he's green and he wants us to breathe.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
He wants us to breathe. So Ed Miliband snubbed Rachel Reeves' speech.
Yes.
Because he's green.
Yes.
But these guys that are green do the green people, do anyone who's environmental or anyone who cares about the planet a real disservice, because they're giving us such a bad reputation, bad name, because they're so far over that they make everyone think that we're that crazy, and that's stupid.
Because there's a happy medium. Obviously, in an ideal world, we would like to be as green as possible and
do the right thing.
And to have like clean water and clean air and clean things like that, because it's beneficial to us as well. So being green is not a taboo thing to be. It's just the way you handle it. But it's the same with all those like protesters, isn't it? You know, like the what are they called? The ones that go and spray stuff everywhere.
Oh, Just Stop Oil.
Yeah, Just Stop Oil. I mean, you know, they do. They do.
They give us a bad name with this.
With their weird orange paint.
Annoying.
Keir Starmer, he's still flying all over the world.
I know, he hasn't stopped.
What is he doing?
He had like a small break over Christmas. Then he went on holiday, pushed in front of someone in a queue. As you do. Got some bad press. So funny. They all started booing him because like they were on a ride and they were queuing and he like jumped the queue. And the people were like, boo, the Prime Minister sucks. It's really funny. So he did that, came back for a little bit.
Wait, did he have a fast pass though?
I don't think he did. That's a good point.
Because if maybe he did actually, pass, you know.
Well, he loves passes and free passes places, so maybe he did.
Yeah. Sugar Daddy Alley back in.
Back in. See, he's gone so quiet.
He's gone very quiet. He's planning something.
One of the things I find weird, so like obviously Rachel Reeves started banging on about all these things she's going to build in like 30 years time. Trying to deflect from the fact that, you know, Sainsbury's has just cut 3,000 jobs and people are leaving, just trying to distract from that. She's like, I'm all about growth. But they don't seem to be all about like stopping shoplifting, thefts, crime, stabbings. What is Yvette Cooper doing? I feel like she flies under the radar just because like every now and then she goes into the House of Commons and scowls at us. But like, what does she actually do?
Not
apart
much.
from reprimand everyone?
I don't think much. She doesn't reprimand the criminals.
What has she achieved in her role in the
really
first
not
6
much.
months?
The other day I was in a supermarket, and all I could hear was like a kerfuffle. And it was this little rude boy, you know, just running around in his night tracksuit, like getting chased by these like staff all around the whole shop. I was like, what is going on? And then his friends like laughing, crying with laughter, like and then they leave. Obviously he stole whatever he stole. I didn't see what he stole, but he managed to get out. But he like pushed I feel sorry for the shop guy. Like, I mean, I don't know if he should have chased him because, you know,
don't know. Safety, people are scared.
But he did, and he was like trying to get security and like it was a whole thing. I was just like, this is wild. And it was like Tottenham Court Road in the middle of the supermarket.
That's so crazy.
And like, it's not the first time I've seen it.
Brazen. It's what, like, I was in Holland and Barrett's the other day it was over Christmas. In Clapham Junction. It's a really nice store. They've refurbed it. They really invested their time and money. And these two like people, I won't describe them. They're just two people who are a bit more like scallywag looking. I can't really explain it. They just had scallywag energy. They're just
fine.
And they came in, took 2 giant tubs of protein, like the big ones, and just walked out. Like, okay.
Wow.
And I said to the lady, she was like, they come in all the time, and they just come in, take some stuff,
ridiculous,
and just leave.
Ridiculous. I see it all the time, like everywhere. Honestly, it's shocking.
It's shocking. One of the funniest things I saw over Christmas, a lot happened over Christmas, guys. I was on my phone a lot, and going to Holland and Barrett's a lot. But I was on Twitter, X, and there was this video, I think it was on X or maybe TikTok. There was a video of Fortnum and Mason's staff. I don't know if you've seen it. It kind of went viral.
I didn't see.
These like I think they were like Romanian traveller ladies. And stolen a lot of stuff from Fortnum and Mason's, right? And obviously, like, it's a great shop. Of course you'd want to steal stuff from it, but they don't want you to. They don't want you to.
Funny that.
And they're at the back door, and there was this lady. She was like a lady, as I described, and they would not let her go. So all of her family were there, like screaming in the street. The security guards were like trying to pull her back in. They're like, "Come with us, come with us." She was like, "No."
Oh my god.
Crying, like making this huge scene, trying to make them feel bad. It's like, you've robbed their shop. Like, don't try and flip the script.
I've seen that too.
And she was like, no. And all the family are like, get off her, leave her alone. People are like, she's a thief. She's a thief. And they were not having it. They spent literally 10 minutes like fighting with this family, dragging this woman in. They didn't need the police. They were better than the police. They were just going in. Eventually, she was like trying to slip out and run back. They would not let go. Eventually, they dragged her back in, shut the door, and I was like, bloody up and down.
Honestly, that's what happened. I've seen that as well. I've seen them, and they always do this victim card. Once they're caught red-handed, hands full of whatever it is they're taking, and they're like, no,
please, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Why are you blaming me? What are you?
We've seen you on the camera. We just saw you in your pocket.
I've seen you with my eyeballs, like right here. And they just do that. It's wild. And then obviously people in the public are like, "What are you doing?"
And then they start shouting at the security guards, like, "Leave her alone! Leave her alone!" No,
like, dude, don't come in halfway through the story. Like, seriously,
that's the thing.
And I've seen them actually get quite violent and then play the victim card as well. So they're like push, and then they try and slap the guy, and then they're like, no. Like, oh my god, if you did that,
if you'd only seen it. Well, that's what happened in that airport, wasn't it, over summer? And people thought that the police were abusing them, and it was totally the other way around. They'd like beaten up the police,
like broken nose and stuff. What the hell?
So that's the only danger sometimes with like social media or seeing things just like halfway through.
But going back to you don't know, someone might have a knife, because that's a trend these days. So you're not just dealing with like petty theft, it's all the things that go with it. And what else will they do if they're so brazen and so comfortable doing that? They're probably involved in other criminal activities.
I think Idris Elba now, he's got a new documentary, and he wants knife crime to be sorted. But his solution, I don't know if this is silly or smart,
Okay.
is to take the points off the end of knives. It makes sense, but it's also like, shouldn't we get to the actual crux of the issue?
Because also you've got to get to the knife with the point, and the person that wants to use a knife with a point is not going to be like, here, please blunt my blade so I can just, bruise you. When they have like a call to hand your knives in and stuff like that, that's always quite a good thing. A lot get handed in,
which
generally
surprises me that a lot do, which is good.
But I do think we need to kind of, we need to be on the streets, to be honest. We need to be a part of, the infrastructure that kind of stops it. You're there, you get to know these people on a personal level, so you can kind of understand them and try and get them out of it. Because sometimes it is a fear thing. You carry it because you're worried you're going to get into trouble, and it's a safety thing.
Well, but that's the policing as well, because like there are lots of police officers who work in areas where that's kind of common, and they do have those relationships. But we need to invest more in that and have more of those kind of officers around who actually, aren't afraid to go into those places, because some people are.
Yeah, that's true. I have seen some police like stepping back and stepping away, and I'm like, that is not what we need.
No.
Like I know a lot of just people, like general public, that would actually intervene. Not saying they should, because you should always be careful, but a police human is supposed to have that kind of ability to do so and know how to handle a situation. And if they don't, they need to get trained, and they shouldn't be on the street. And
so there needs to be another method, because that can't be the solution to just leave it. That's a problem.
That is a problem. Oh, I don't know, we could go on about this for days and days. But I do also think, youth clubs and having good, again,
things like that are important. And that's another thing I don't hear. This is a Labour Party, and I'm not hearing that kind of conversation. They're trying to like clean up the mess they've already created, which is fine, fair enough, but they're not doing what their people want them to do, and what the country needs them to do, if we're being frank. So that's a problem. And also, weirdly, like going back to the Idris Elba thing, just randomly, because I think in the first like 2 weeks of Keir Starmer getting in, he took him to, like, they do this big whole shebang. He took him into Downing Street. They sat across the cabinet table. They took photos. And obviously he doesn't feel like anything's been done, because he's just done a documentary on the BBC trying to come up with ideas, albeit silly or not, to try and fix it. So obviously he doesn't feel like that's gone anywhere. And they were just, it was just a photo
opportunistic photo op.
So that's the problem with like Keir Starmer and the like, is just, it's all a facade.
It is.
So what do we think of our leader in 2025? How's she doing?
Kemi, okay, so my thoughts are, she does kind of give it to him, Keir, in PMQs, but I don't know. I feel like it's still missing.
She's doing a much better job now, because she's honing in on one topic. So last week it was education, and she was very good on that. This week was unemployment, and it was good. It wasn't as strong as the education one. That was really good. This one was still good because the topic was right. But he's very slippery, and he just says the same thing. And he doesn't answer the question, we know, but he also just like slips out of it by being like, oh, you're a lattice, and it's just like, it just kind of negates everything that she said, which is a shame.
It is a shame.
And he's not a serious person.
It's not.
And it does show that, but she should also say, look, you're clearly not a serious person. Like, what are you talking about? That was firstly 2 prime ministers ago. And second of all, your chances equally as bad, if not worse. And can we actually get to the topic and focus on what we're supposed to be talking about, and not being complete arse?
Like,
what are you doing? You're the prime minister. Why are you talking about a lettuce?
Exactly. I totally agree. That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see her
call him out,
and really kind of not just say, why haven't you done this? Say, why haven't you done this? We were going to do this and this, like, but make sure it's a good point. And then you're reiterating again the points that he's probably going to take up and try and use as his own new idea. Because I think what she says is right. And I do agree with the things she says, but I just want that. I want that fire.
A bit more combative on the comebacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, don't be scared
Don't
to.
be scared.
Yeah.
I don't think she's scared.
No,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
Go
like
for
she's
it.
holding
People will
back.
really
Yeah.
be behind you,
Yeah.
I think. And I think because obviously, like, we're still in this apologetic stage as a party. Like,
Yeah.
we did it wrong. We're sorry. We did it wrong. Like, we get it. We've said it enough times.
Boring.
We're done. We get it. We did it wrong.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Let's start fighting.
Exactly.
Let's go for these people.
Yeah.
And really stick it to them.
Yeah, I agree totally.
So the year ahead.
Oh,
how do you think this is going to look? 2025. What do you think? What do you think Labour are going to get right? The Conservatives are going to get right. Labour are going to get wrong. What do we need to be doing? Where should we go?
Oh my God,
What's
that's such a
future?
loaded, heavy question. Oh, well, in an ideal world, I would love that Labour actually did some amazing good things and made this country great again, like a mini America.
Yeah, I'd love America.
But what I think they're gonna do, none of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Keir is still going to be in charge at least for a year or two.
Yeah.
Maybe for the whole run, but definitely at least a year or two, unless something really crazy happens.
The local election is going to be interesting. The local and the Senate elections are going to be interesting for him.
Yes, they are. And I think if they're carrying on this trajectory, I think they are going to get like clobbered.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Because it also keeps them accountable and it kind of puts them in check.
Right.
Because he thinks currently that he can do no wrong.
Yeah. I've got the mandate. I'm the guy.
Yeah. He hasn't proved himself. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know. It's there, and there's a few people around him. I do think they'll get into some hot water over certain issues.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot more fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Which I think we need. I mean, it might start off quiet.
Yeah.
But I've already feel the rumblings.
Yeah.
And it's the cracks are starting to appear. And I'd like someone to like open up those cracks.
Yeah, with a chisel.
Let's go. Let's start some fires.
But that is the problem of any party. That's why the Conservatives kind of fell, because there were cracks, big cracks, and you have to be united.
You have to be united.
Yeah, and not have infighting. And I do think that Labour are going to see a similar problem. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
I think with the Conservative Party, that's my biggest that's the thing I'm most proud of at the moment. Yeah. Like the Conservative Party is very, very united. Like everyone will have a varying degree of where they think we are, and how strong things are going in certain areas. But as a party, we are one.
Yes.
Like on the green benches, outside of the green benches, like we are all fighting the same fight, and which I think is exactly where we need to be.
Absolutely.
And as long as we stay on that kind of path and don't let like Reform or anyone else distract us, I think we'll have a strong year. Obviously, like with the Senate and stuff, Wales isn't really a Conservative area, so we're not going to do great there, which is a shame because it would be a good news story.
Although you never know, because
Reform are really pushing it, and they're probably going to do well there.
Yeah, but it will still have an effect on Labour,
which is good.
Yeah,
the only problem is it's a shame it's not us.
Going
to be in the headlines, and the media are going to really bang on about it and how they're the new us, and it's just going to get a bit boring. But the small amount of locals that there will be, hopefully we can make a bit of an impact there. And kind of
I mean, I don't know, I do think Farage's actually talk about Farage and Elon, the fact that he didn't sort of
that was iconic
him, I mean, that's crazy.
Epic. That was my favorite part of the whole Christmas season.
That is crazy.
Who needs turkey?
Honestly, for me, I was just like, wow,
it just really brought me joy.
So that's a bit, I mean, not that he is the be all and end all, but just that he did that was kind of like,
he just dropped him.
So that was,
and also Farage, he talks a good game, but he was not in the rotunda, he was not in the room. We forgot to mention this at the inauguration. He makes this big deal about being like Trump's best friend. Boris Johnson was in there,
I saw.
And Nigel Farage was not. So let's just call a spade a spade. You're not that hot. Like, he doesn't like you that much, mate. Because you'd be there.
Under the pit.
No, he was not. He was like, oh yeah, I didn't make the cut. Like, no, you didn't.
But they definitely do. Like,
no, I think he likes him. He likes him as a person, but like, they're not like, he's like, I can make Trump do anything. It's like, you really can't.
Only if he wants to do
it. If he wants to do it.
I can make anyone do anything they want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
but yeah, so that was a little blow to his ego, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do think he's still going to be, rightly so, an agitator in that House of Commons. I think he should be.
Yeah, he will be. He will be.
So I hope
he's been there that much in the House of Commons this
yeah.
year. I haven't seen him. I've seen Rupert Lowe a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Nige.
Yeah, I saw him a couple times, but yeah, I think that's it. But no, I hope he is, because again, I want people to be like, yo, what you doing? What you doing now? What are you doing now? How's it going to benefit us? What do you mean? Do the public really want this? Just keep going,
calling them out.
Yeah, and eventually the lies of the Labour Party that have been,
people know it. Like, I was in M&S the other day, and I love it when I like overhear something in the real world. Not that we don't live in the real world, but like outside of politics, right? Because you just hear everyone talks about the same stuff, but then when you hear people actually talk about it just makes me so happy. So I was this is actually a nice story. I've got two, so I'll say the one that's less sad. So I was walking my dog, and someone called Reeves, Rachel from accounts. I was like, cut through, love it. There was this lady in M&S on the self-checkout, and normally there's one or two of them, and she was like frantic, just going around trying to approve things for everyone. And she was like, I'm sorry, but there's no staff because Labour are cutting all the jobs. And I was like, that's the truth. So I was quite happy about that, because people understand that the reason people aren't hiring is because of that budget, and they're feeling it, and they know who to blame. They're not blaming the last 14 years. Exactly. They're blaming the Labour Party.
And she has to do now twice the amount of work.
She's really annoyed.
And
she's always so happy, that lady.
Same pay. Not cool. But and I just don't think some people in government get that. They're so
they think they're so right. They think they're so on the side of right that they just don't understand that the British public see them for who they are, for the most part. And I just think anyone that reneges on like every promise that they were voted in on, and pretends that the worst thing is that the gaslighting, they pretend they're not doing it.
Like no, we meant this.
Like,
what? You're speaking English? I heard you speak English.
Like, what do you say? I was that.
I mean,
it's insane.
It is insane. I don't know, but anyway, so that's
it, guys. Lots to look forward to in 2025. I'm also starting a new candidate series where I interview lots of candidates. So cool. We'll start dropping those as well.
Yeah, love that.
Good to be back.
So good. We miss you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, Monday midday, ModCon. See you soon. Bye, guys.